Is Beast Games the future of television?
Or the end of civilization as we know it? Okay, well, so today we're discussing Amazon's Beast Games.
Amazon's Beast Games, yes.
And
MrBeast's Beast Games.
MrBeast's Amazon Beast Games. It's multiple branding. I want to say right off the bat, I don't think it is either of the options we just posited in our cold opening,
Yes.
or I hope and pray that it is not. Certainly reality TV for a long time has been accused as the end of television.
True.
And it has yet to happen.
Yes.
So
there's still good stuff.
Yeah.
But I think we need to accept the fact that the existence of Beast Games says something about where TV is at.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, people who are watching this, perhaps they're watching it on a TV, perhaps they're watching it on a phone, etc. And they're probably doing other things at the same time. You know,
I would suspect.
And I think, we have discussed in the past the idea of like the second screener, the person who's doing multiple things at once, and the fact that television is being made that actively services this purpose.
And that's 100% what this show is from my experience, since you asked me to watch one episode.
Exactly. I didn't force you to watch the whole thing.
Right. Just one episode in preparation for this episode 4. And I was getting ready. I was doing other stuff. And at one point I literally left the room and I think I had a shower and came back, and I had not missed a single event because everything kept being repeated every few minutes.
Yeah. I mean, and the overall concept is pretty much, stunts to win money. Like that's really
right. But I didn't even miss like somebody losing a stunt. I didn't miss any of the drama moments because they repeated them.
Yes.
Every few minutes would remind you of what had just happened.
Yeah, and I do feel that the show really, has something for everyone. I mean, in its large number of people, different ages. This season, this is the second season. It's strength against
brains versus brawn,
something like that. They're kind of trying to throw anything at the wall. It really, you get that sense when you're watching it, which kind of means that when you're throwing everything, nothing's sticking. And again, like this uniqueness, this is just another reality show, and kind of it's not staking a claim to really doing anything new. It's in a long trajectory of not just reality shows, but game shows in general.
It seems specifically that episode 4, the one you asked me to watch, brought in Jeff Probst and Survivor, which that in and of itself kind of tells you how little new this show is doing if you got to bring in.
Exactly. But I do think that's the signpost. That's what it's suggesting. That's what the Beast Games is really doing. It's staking its claim to being part of this trajectory.
Right.
I don't want to conform Jeff to our style. I want to conform myself to his style. Because, I mean, it's 50 seasons. Clearly people like it. By having the what is referred to in the show as a brand collaboration between Beast Games and Survivor, it's kind of placing itself as sort of part of this longer history of reality television, but then also just a longer history of things that have been on TV since TV began, which is game shows.
And the brand collab, I mean, that is the origin of game shows. It's literally, it was a cheap form of television where you could get products to sell, and it would be advertising within the show.
Yes. Because you could win them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it was nothing but a bunch of little mini ads throughout the show and a game to keep you watching these ads. So this is just we've been 75 years of game shows.
And way cheaper to make than dramas or anything else,
for sure.
or sitcoms or whatever, because you don't, I mean, it's just a game and you can repeat it over and over and over and over again. And I think that is why MrBeast so accurately or successfully fits into this, because that is what he did with regards to YouTube.
Well, that's just it, because you take him out of the YouTube milieu and you put him into a traditional TV show, and you realize what he's been doing all the way along.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just been a game show.
Exactly.
His cleverness was figuring out how to do a game show in this new medium.
Yeah.
But that's all it really was. He's
Yes.
chasing the algorithm, trying to figure out how to make something that the algorithm would promote, that wanted, rather than making something original and then figuring out how you can get people to watch it. This was...
Yeah, he's like servicing the algorithm and all the kind of the stories of Jimmy Donaldson, aka MrBeast, of him. I think the story is he quit college and he just focused 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on how to beat the algorithm, how to get views, how to get subscribers. And,
he's a business success story.
Incredible business success story. Like, no quarrel with that. The guy has done well. And there is a level of creativity that you need to have, but it's a business creativity. I don't think it's
not an artistic creativity. No, that's not what's going on here.
Not at all. So this episode with the Survivor collaboration, I think is really interesting because, what it does is it takes what MrBeast is doing, and in addition to trying to, put it into a trajectory of the history of game shows and reality television, it's also trying to demonstrate that Survivor as a product or as a concept is prestige reality television. That it's shown, it's introduced.
Which is not what most of us would think when we think of prestige television. We're thinking of things like Breaking Bad or The Sopranos or whatever, and not reality TV.
But for MrBeast, when he meets Jeff Probst, the moment he meets Jeff Probst in this episode, he is beside himself.
Yes. As are many of the contestants.
Exactly. So enthusiastic about meeting Jeff Probst, the host of the show Survivor. And there they are in Fiji. It's also important to think about what this says about Survivor as well, like where Survivor has come from. Because when Survivor started, it started right at the turn of the millennium. We were all watching Richard Hatch and his
betraying
everyone. And it was really fascinating as like sort of a anthropological study.
Well, it was new. It was a new type of game show.
Yes, and it was on network television. On Thursday nights, I think, and you could watch it, and it was really this novelty, and it continued to be a novelty as it moved around. It was more.
I'd like to point out, it came out around the same time as Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, which is a far more traditional looking game show, but was equally as, this is new. We never had this price amount before. We never had it in this format. We never had Regis Philbin as a game show host.
We never had Phone a Friend.
Yes, so it was a fresh new game show.
Exactly. And Survivor was kind of presented as being different from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire because it had this additional kind of human reality element. The fact that they didn't have food. The fact that people would actually, have to be medevaced out of the place. Like the fact that it was in different places.
Contestants on The Price is Right never had to conspire together against other contestants. That wasn't an element to it.
The other thing that it had was this sort of sense of wanting to draw new people into watching it. Like this new primetime audience that was going to get a little bit of drama while it was simply a game show. So it was kind of trying to draw people in, but we're in the 50th season of Survivor. Okay. I think that's part of why the brand collab happened, is because we're in the 50th season of Survivor. And for the last 10-ish seasons, it hasn't moved around to different places. It's all been in Fiji. And it's all been on this island that has been kind of created specifically for this.
It's called the Survivor Island. That's how Jeff Probst calls it that in this episode.
Yes, it's the Survivor Island. It has all of the different challenges typical to Survivor. And so for the last almost, a dozen seasons, it's really not been about drawing any new people. This is now something that you're really only watching Survivor if you're a Survivor fan. It's not drawing any new people to watch it, and it's engaging in the kind of almost like a fan fiction possibilities of Survivor. Gen X versus millennials. The biggest evil people versus the good people. Young versus old.
Well, this is the brains versus brawn that we're doing here on this.
Exactly. It's kind of trying to feed into the very thing. Maybe it's trying to MrBeast itself a little bit. It's very comfortable. It's always in the same place. It's not challenging. In the same
it's
way,
essentially on a set now. No different than Price Is Right or Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
And that's what, and YouTube wants that.
Right.
YouTube is something that wants it to be comfortable, to be the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And that's what Survivor has kind of moved into. And so this new generation of Survivor is much more in keeping with the Jimmy Donaldson, MrBeast model than it is what it was to begin with.
So they're also chasing the algorithm.
They are
Right.
also chasing algorithm,
Right.
absolutely, and trying to like maintain relevance
Right.
in the face of YouTube.
Right.
You know, because Survivor is still a network program.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you're bringing these two people together, you have sort of the new version of the game show host, MrBeast, and you have Jeff Probst. In some ways, you know, this idea of creating the prestige, I had to buy into it slightly because clearly Jeff Probst is a more interesting host.
He's a much better.
Yeah.
He's got. That's the thing. MrBeast is not adding any value to this TV show.
No.
Just as a TV viewer who's not like, I'm not a fan one way or another. I'm not a Survivor person.
No.
The only reality TV show I ever loved was The Mole. But he's not adding any value. He's just constantly screaming. His voice is breaking as he yells at everybody.
He's trying to keep it at 100.
Get more excited. And it's just constantly at 100%. And then Jeff Probst comes in and he's not screaming. He's a little bit more
No. And he, in a wonderful moment,
self-assured.
In a wonderful moment, he takes MrBeast to task for this. And it really is quite beautiful.
Do you yell or do you normally just like, it's normal?
No, you know what I've noticed is when you're actually in control, you don't need to yell.
Oh.
Oh. And it just demonstrates the reality that that there was something about Survivor that was perhaps like new and unique and whatever, but we're not there anymore.
Right. So it's not the end of civilization. It's not the end of television. But I don't know if it portends well for game shows or reality or MrBeast's career in television.
Well, no, I think it portends extremely well. I think we're just going to get more.
Really?
Yeah, I think we'll get more. We'll get more.
It's successful, right? It's super successful. But because of his name has brought that on. He himself, other than the name, is not contributing anything. I think they could do just as well calling it MrBeast's Game. And he's at Beast Town in like a little room, and then he sends out somebody else, like a better host, to do it. I think they'd have a far more successful TV show.
We'd like it more.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it.
That explains it.
The tribe has spoken.